Have you seen Park County's largest beehive? Come by and check us out. We are located across from the historic Ritz Theater. We offer honey, vintage, handmade, and homemade items. The Vintage Beehive is open Wednesday through Sunday, 10 to 5. Like us on Facebook.
Father, we thank you for allowing us to be here today. We ask that you would guide and direct us as we carry on with the town's business and help us make the right decisions for the town and its residents. We ask that as we go through our conversations that we would remain friendly and that you would keep us safe and watch out over those who probably are going to be out tonight with the wind, and we just ask that you would put a hedge of protection around them. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, good evening, everybody. First order of business. Everybody got a copy of the minutes from the last couple meetings?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Claims and wants, and signatures.
Yeah. February end of the month amount, $2,027.41. March 18th meeting, $338,296.11.
Okay. Payroll warrants for March 4th, 11th, 18th, $23,563.98. The bank reconciliations, utilities, $2,168,195.49. The town, $763,614.49. Customer deposit, $23,530 even, and payroll was $2,073.19. Approve those.
I make a motion that we approve all those.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, that's special.
Yeah.
About the same thing every.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry. Is there any other? Yeah, some more in there.
I'll turn on the bill, please.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the last one.
we should do that.
They've been on a first responder run.
Got a new one.
Anything new for us back there?
Oh, I see.
No? Paul? Got anything? John?
So I sent that update email today. I believe, just to give you a snapshot, I believe we had 43 calls for service up to this date. I'm still waiting on parts for that Explorer. COVID's got us tied up. We applied for a grant for face masks. I look for us to get it, but we haven't got it yet. I'm still waiting on the official word from our MC, but all indicators are that grant also got approved too, so
Awesome.
that will be great. I can't think of anything else specifically.
Thank you. Okay. Chad?
Just wanted to come over and give everybody an update, a review of last year, and then talk about a couple things for this year. And then there was a couple other items I needed to talk to everyone about.
Thank you.
2020, although a little trying at times, we still managed to get a good bit of work done. Go through here with each quarter, kind of what we did in the billing. First quarter, we got it was in the work plan that Adam did, the 2 different phases that crossed down at the end of Aztec Drive. We got that taken out. Second quarter kind of picked up. We had a little storm that came through, broke 2 poles. We came over and changed 2 poles, I believe, it was one night.
Yeah.
Then we had Busenbark's irrigation pumps. They had some trouble with the 3-phase there. We actually turned into more of a fusing issue. The way everything was coordinated, we finally got that figured out. And we changed 300 amp OCRs down here at the north end of town. That billing was more just, it was the outage over time. I think some part of that was on a weekend too with the irrigation pumps.
Not much for sure.
As part of, with the irrigation pumps also, in the third quarter we came in, the voltage in the meter base on the 3-phase transformers was 480, and that's a very big safety hazard, especially in our mind, but it is. So we talked with Jim. We came in, put potential transformers and all those to step the voltage down for the metering. So if the guys are in there working on the meter, they don't have 480 right in their face. We redid the underground risers going to all the pumps out there on that north road. Put insulated wire, spaced everything out so they wouldn't have near as much. And to my knowledge, there hadn't been any outage trouble out there since. Of course, they're not haven't run for a while, but the rest of the summer they didn't have any outage trouble. I should say that. Part of the work plan, we got the transformer moved out of the backyard. I think down on Washington, I believe. I don't know the streets very well.
Up to Washington.
Yeah. One that had been talked about several times. Then we got the pole changed in the backyard, I believe, behind her house.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The last part of the year, we changed the pole by the restaurant, 3-phase pole. It was pretty much an all-day job, pretty busy pole. We got it changed. And we had another cutout change we did. I don't know exactly where on that one. Some other expense that there was through the year, the Rose Brothers, the elevator down here on the north end of town. We're going to put in a pad mount and do away with the 3 small transformers with the fence. It got into fall. We had a long lead time on the transformer because there's typically a lead time, but I think the COVID made it a little worse even. So we didn't get it. They were in the field and we couldn't do it. So the transformer is purchased. has actually worked out pretty well because Roses are going to add 2 more bins and a dryer down there. So, and we oversized the transformer, so the transformer's plenty big. So this year, starting, think about any time, we're probably going to be adding some service down there too. We had coordinated with them as far as doing it, and then they came back, and actually one of our retirees, Greg Stoltz, is going to do all the wiring on their side, so that has all worked out pretty good. But that'll be coming up. And we did about $30,000 worth of tree trimming. We, as far as how much of the town, I don't know a percentage, how much area they were able to cover, but I think we got most of the.
Few spots left, not much.
Yeah, I think we got most of what was concerning you or anyone else. And we, because of Roses, we didn't get to do all that. We spent a little extra on the tree trimming, knowing we were still going to be under a good bit. The total for the year was just it was about $79,000 for the year.
That transformer, I think, really been paid for already.
Yes. As far as 2021, like I said, the Rose Brothers, they're going to add 2 bins and a dryer down there. So we'll be doing that shortly.
The dryer,
They're going to add a dryer too.
gas one, electric.
It'll be gas, be electric motors, fans. Be a batch dryer.
Because the gas has been taken out.
Yeah. That's been about 2 or 3 years ago, they said take it out.
I mean, the riser is still there, but all the metering and everything. Been taken out for the years and stuff.
Lined on both sides.
I just wonder if they putting a new dryer, if you know, are they putting a new dryer in?
I don't know exact facts. I'm assuming they're going to put in a new batch dryer.
I would think so, but that one's how old, and see if
Yeah, I
that
don't think they use it.
parts off of it. We'll find out more.
Yeah, but like I said, one of our old retirees is doing all the wiring and everything, so we've gotten a lot of information through him. But in the end, when it's all done, that will all be cleaned up. Those transformers, those old riser poles will be gone. I mean, it'll
That's the
be
last one,
yeah,
that side.
yeah, it'll be in a lot better shape down there. And actually, with that dryer, that'll be a pretty good load too. Then the other thing for the rest of the year, we had the pole testers came in, did 300 poles on the north end of town, basically from 36 north. It actually came back a little better. I was a little surprised, about 10% fail rate. So we had about 30 poles that failed. I wondered if it wouldn't be a little more than that, but about 30 poles. 22 of them were just what we call regular failed poles. They come in and test. They either have, they fail, or they have rush poles that like you need to change this immediately or very soon. There was 8 of those, and I have those work orders drawn up for our guys on those to get started on those. One thing I did want to talk about, and I don't know, I should just talk to Jim about it. You had 3 poles on the baseball fields, the light poles that are rush poles. They checked those, and they are rotten.
On the baseball field?
Yes.
Is it on the boys?
I don't know.
It's right across from the office, the
That's softball.
south side of the, I know my son played there at one time, but
So it's on the south side.
right across the street, south of your office.
South, it's the boys' baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, them was used poles when they put them in back in.
Well, there's a couple of them you can put your fist in at the bottom.
Huh.
So, I didn't know on those if you wanted us to change those, if,
Well, yeah, I need to get with the boys' baseball, because if you change them out, they need to put new lights on them.
but that's something we can discuss, I mean, but there are, I think there was 3 of them there.
Something we need to address.
Yes,
Early.
yeah.
Okay,
Right
that's
away.
fine, yes. We don't want nothing to happen to nobody.
No.
And then the last page there is the 8 rush poles. Like I said, I have those. I went through and looked at them and drawn those up, and so we've got plenty of poles to change this year. And that was kind of It was one of the things on the work plan we did was getting those tested and changed. Several of those are pretty busy. There's phone, cable, there's a little bit of everything, so some of them are going to take some time, but we'll start working on those very soon.
I've seen quite a few of them on the three-phase lines.
Yeah. Yep. There's I don't think there's too many rushes on those, but there were several of those that tested bad too. A few light poles. There's a few of the poles I looked at, where there's like some old copper open secondaries. One I can think is right along 36. There's 2 light poles. There's 2 open secondaries. We're planning to go through and put duplex on those. I think they're running Christmas lights maybe during the.
Street lights and Christmas lights.
Yeah. It'd be very minimal cost and just go ahead and get that old wire out of the air while we're doing it. So. Well, I guess the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, I don't know if any of you have been in contact with Duke, is wanting to, they need to add oil to the transformer at the substation. They talk to us because we have a couple guys we deal with all the time. But they're wanting to take the town of Montezuma out for, they're saying, a half hour, the whole town. Off the record, my dealings with Duke, I don't know that they do anything in a half hour. But that's something that, and I don't exactly know how, if you deal with Duke through IMPA or, your purchase power, but that's.
Do we know what day? Because we'll have, the school will be in
I
session
know.
and
I don't know.
the restaurants and.
They'll have to get with us.
Okay.
There, I mean, they can't just come in.
That's when they changed that substation out. They brought in a
Portable.
on wheels. That was used when they put it in. They had fans running on it.
Yeah, they're needing, I think all I need to do is add oil, which I know that won't take long, but my personal opinion, if they're going to do it, they'll pull a mobile in to keep the town on, but
Going,
Yeah.
I know. But
Do you feel like they'll contact the town before they do that? A warning as to what day?
yeah, oh yes, it'll all be planned.
Okay.
But we,
Or
I
maybe
don't know,
they do it
even-
after school's out?
They gotta, they'll have to go through IMPA also.
Okay, all right.
yeah.
So they gotta schedule with
I
them.
think
and
Topol gave our guy Jim's number, so I don't know if he's contacted you or not, but
Who's that?
Duke's,
Oh,
the Duke, like a planner, big planner. So I just want to make everybody aware of that's
Thank you.
that's something on the horizon.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thanks. Okay.
Any comments?
Yes, I'd like to thank you guys for everything you've done. It
Yes,
sure has helped us a bunch, and we appreciate it. As far as I'm speaking for everybody, I
Yes, you
believe,
are.
and
yeah.
Absolutely.
that coming,
Thank you, appreciate that.
when we knew you guys had power out, and they got here as soon as they come
Yeah,
off
it's-
600 straight to the south when we had that storm, and
Yeah.
they was down there all night, and the next part of the next day, yes. Tell the guys thank you very much.
Yes,
We will.
thank you.
It was starting out, first of last year, everybody was nobody was all new, and then,
Yeah.
now they're a little more familiar, and they
Yeah.
just, it's the same work, it's just a different area, so,
And how to get to some of it.
yes, yeah. I do a
With
lot of,
properties, yeah, it's a little different down the roads and when you're in town.
I do a lot of overhead shots and print them off and circle things and give them to them so they know. But that's, this 2021 is the third year, the 3-year contract, so, we need to start thinking about, what you guys want to do from here on.
Okay.
Just, I don't know if you have anything to add on that, but.
Our budgeting cycle begins in August, so if we could, we don't need a definitive answer by August, but if we could at least know the direction that you're wanting to head, that'll help us plan for '22, whether you guys decide to continue or stop or.
Okay. Jim, you got any comments or?
Well, I don't know if I want to see in front of these guys. Well, we're gonna have to keep them around, at least, hell, we got nobody.
Yeah, and we'll have for,
Yeah.
Knows what you're doing, I
Yeah.
sure so. So, you know, I'd like to keep them around.
Okay.
We'll
We'll have you an answer.
We'll just, our main, we'll just have to get together and crunch some numbers at how much, but we do want some more work done, that's for,
Yes.
that, it's just what we spend.
And it's more of a putting it on your radar.
Yeah.
And I realize it's March and
Yeah.
the end of the year seems like forever away, but August will be here.
Oh, no, we need to get it taken care of
Yeah,
and
we
be,
need to
get
know.
it out of our way too.
Yes.
Yeah. we need
Not
to know.
wait till the last.
You said that was just everything north of 36.
Yeah, we tested everything north of 36. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for your report.
Yes.
They're not those.
Yeah.
They're not those. Sir?
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know me, Lyle Scott, we are going to have a estate auction at my dad's property up here on Jackson Street. And with the COVID and everything, we've been shut out at the fairgrounds and the armory and whatnot. They're all booked up. So we're going to do the sale there at the house. Going to put a tent up. What I'm here to ask about is the bathrooms nearest the tennis courts. Would there be any way we could rent them for Friday afternoon and Saturday or something like that? Or
I don't think you have to rent them. I think if we just let Annie know, she'll
Okay.
unlock them.
okay, well, I
Because she
wasn't
leaves
sure
them unlocked a lot during
how
the
that all
summer.
works.
Right? I mean, we don't, yeah, they're
Yeah.
public
Yeah.
restrooms.
Okay, we wasn't sure, so we thought we'd better.
What you might do is offer to buy her some toilet paper and some cleaning
Yeah.
supplies, so because she keeps it clean all the time.
Yeah, I'll
And the
get up with
baseball
her then. So,
league, they're the ones who buy all that,
okay,
so you might want to,
yeah, we wasn't sure if that was on the town or just how everything worked there, so we'll get in touch with her then.
yeah, I'm sure she won't
sure.
care.
Yeah,
You help
okay.
her out with some cleaning supplies.
Oh,
and-
yeah,
some
I can clean, I know how to clean.
What date are you guys having this auction?
April 17th, it's on a Saturday. We'll be Jackson Street, I'm sorry.
Jefferson, the one you sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get with that. I don't see no problem.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Lyle. Good luck.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I got a lot of stuff, come by and buy something. If we don't have it, we'll dig around, it's probably there.
Okay.
Did you see his ears light up?
Yeah, watch out, Terry.
We're gonna get done for the next
Oh,
When did you say that was?
April 17th,
You're out of town.
11 o'clock.
You may run drip for you,
Bring
Nick.
bring it. Then just drop off a blank check, we'll see that you're all right.
He'll be there the next day going through the dumps.
Okay. Jimmy?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Rockville paper.
Nothing.
Flint paper.
Noted.
Nothing from you. All right. Okay. Well, you also, you got anything to say, Chad? I don't, because he just passed on.
As long as you let us know something about August, September.
Okay, okay.
We'll let you know plenty of time. 'Cause
Okay, everybody see the note that Mark Hanson is going to wait till the
Yeah.
project's meeting on April 1st. So, okay, we got one billing adjustment, a write-off of $5,620.85.
I'll make a motion, we accept one billing adjustment at $5,620.65.
Second?
Okay.
All in favor? Yeah, okay. We got two water adjustments. One's from Hub's Pub and one from Joyce Foreman. Everything there's been taken care of, Kathy?
I make the motion.
Second.
Accept the order of justice.
Go ahead, Sean.
Second.
Yeah.
Dad,
Okay,
doesn't matter.
the invoice. So,
I forgot to write this on your list, I didn't get to on your copy.
Oh, I did see that. Okay.
It's a resolution to square away the COVID money that we got for reimbursements. It had to go in one fund and then it has to go to wherever it's supposed to go to cover expenses. So that's what that is.
So the Fund 150 is sort of like a general fund?
That's the one they made us, State Board of Accounts,
Okay.
come out and said, this is what you gotta use for your CARES Act money.
Okay,
Then, what, 4 or 5 weeks later, they decided we weren't gonna do it the way they originally planned. We had to go through the payroll system to get it reimbursed, so that went in another fund.
okay,
So now we gotta take from that fund back to these other funds.
Okay.
Expenses were incurred.
in this one.
oh boy.
Yeah,
So,
me.
so that one is just sort of like a general fund, is that it?
The 150.
Uh-huh,
That's the fund that was set up to begin with, where you were like the furnace and everything was
Oh.
expensed out of there.
okay.
And then
So
they
we-
changed it after we.
They changed it, because when we tried to go get reimbursement for that, then they said everybody had to do the payroll.
Originally, you could only use it for payroll if the payroll was directly related to COVID, like overtime. Then they said, yeah, never mind that, just use it for public safety and that kind of thing. And then they didn't want you to take it out for anything else. Because then it, I think, so, I suspect it was motivated primarily by the fact that people weren't able to find enough things to spend the money on outside of, cleaning supplies. We were trying to be creative, and they wanted to get the money out, so they said, just take it out of payroll. Then it became, you must take it out as payroll. I don't know what they did with places that
And
didn't have
then it got
payroll.
tricky on the state side to where, okay, we're gonna cover this, is this really a COVID expense, or, so it pretty much got turned around, this is how you had to do it.
So my question is this, if, say, the police department or the fire department had another expense of some kind after we sign this, will there be any funds from this? This
No,
is
you only
it?
had till December 31st to,
Okay, so this is it when we sign it? Okay,
this is it, except for the
We're getting-
ARP money because of the new.
Yeah, we're gonna get another round. You're gonna need 2 more rounds, actually, one this year, one next year.
okay,
Nobody knows what the strings are to that. They're not gonna be as much as the strings on this one, we were told. But
Okay.
There's still gonna be some strings. What was it? Which one?
And due to change anytime.
yeah, right, yeah,
I can't remember. It's,
okay.
I cannot keep all the numbers straight in my head.
Say again?
It's almost $4 million.
Yes, it
Over 2
is.
years.
Got it.
Over 2 years. So,
Okay.
it's a lot of money.
Okay,
We're supposed to get the first round of that in the next 60 days.
I got my notice from State Board of Accounts on that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, how to go ahead and set up your fund numbers, and I'm not doing it till,
so you get it
There'll
done.
be another round
then
of
we won't
that
have to do this.
next year. I think it was 240. I think it was, it's 120 each time. It was almost
So we need a motion on resolution.
We do,
Yes.
So we need
yeah.
to,
I make a motion on 2021-03-01.
All in favor?
Aye.
You have the copy to sign? Okay.
We did bad news portion of this evening's program. I'll try to talk and Kathy can straighten me out if I'm wrong. These graphs show Panhandle gas spot prices day by day for the last year. What normally consistently costs less than $5, in fact, typically costs between $2 and $3. They sell these things, the units are decatones. 4 days in mid-February, it normally costs between $2 and $3, which is $227 per unit.
This is all because of that storm that went through Texas.
Oh.
Of course,
That resulted
Okay.
in the gas bill that you get every month is complicated. It's got a lot of parts to it. You pay for all sorts of things. When they add this in, they add this in. But at the core of it, you're buying the gas. The gas is the biggest expense. Everyone who is, well, I'm sure that bigger utilities probably have their own department that does these things, but sounds like Montezuma use companies called, we use Symmetry, I'm saying that right. There's others, there's Sentinel, there's a couple others. They work for you, and they are in charge of ordering the gas, buying the gas, making sure they got it shipped from here to Montezuma. They take care of all that. And essentially you pay them, they mark up whatever they buy, and they mark it up like, it's only like 10 cents per unit. Not bad. And it goes just down to 7 cents once you get to a certain point. So, but they buy, they sort of, trying to explain this, they get kind of a fixed price for certain, they buy it ahead of time, and it's okay. We know Montezuma's going to need a couple hundred units a day, so we'll buy that ahead of time. And we'll get it, and we get a fixed price on that, on the futures. But, and the good news is, if you use less than what they have for you that day, you actually get a credit. If you use more, then you have to pay more. Unfortunately, your highest usage days during the month all occurred, because it was cold here, it was cold everywhere. Your highest usage days all occurred, on my spreadsheet, on the days when the prices were at the highest possible levels, which resulted in a bill that normally would have been, what, 30,000 maybe?
February's bill was 55,000.
55.
That's normal for wintertime usage.
It's 297,000. So 5-6 times. Well, that's the total. I was just looking at this part. Yeah, just this part would have been about 30 by my ballpark.
Yeah, right.
So the total bill, I'm sorry, to compare it would be about 8 times, 7.5 times more. Now, you, again, are not everyone, not everyone in the world. All the people have on Panhandle, most people on Panhandle around here have this problem. I sent Kathy a story just from Indiana of 5 or 6 towns that have they got their bill sooner than we did because they use a different supplier, but they all have the same problem. I can, if you Google this, you can see Iowa, Minnesota, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, all through the mid part of the country has this same problem. Those prices went so high that those 4 days. Now, some places got it cheaper because they're on slightly different systems. Panhandle's prices were $227. So we have to, first of all, we have to pay this bill. It's a challenge. We're going to probably have to scrape the bottom of the barrel and maybe somebody else's barrel to come up with our portion of the money. Then we have the customers. Because ultimately, these charges, are based on the usage of customers during the month. And so now, I have no great ideas here. I don't know if you talked to Pat Callahan.
He did call before I left today, and he said there's 2 or 3 different choices you have. He said in some cases with the pill, they were hit with a $600,000 gas bill for March. or February. He said some have chose to recover that money just in 2 months. And he said others are choosing to spread it out over a 12-month period, which I highly would suggest doing because I don't think a lot of people in town can.
No. No, we can't do that to them.
And I don't know, Pat won't know until he runs numbers. He needed to know which way you guys wanted to go first, but I'm just kind of thinking maybe everybody will be $50, $60 more.
It's gonna depend, yeah, it's gonna depend on how much people use. People who use less won't pay as much because, but people who use more will pay more. So some people may be $50 a month, some people may be $80 a month more.
Do we have a leg to stand on with these other small communities to go back on Panhandle?
Right, it's not Panhandle. Panhandle doesn't sell anything. Panhandle sells space.
Transport.
Transport only, yeah, they don't own the gas.
Gas is bought just like on a commodity.
Right.
And things like that affect it just like it does everything else.
There have been, I've read some of these stories, Nick, and people talk about, there might be some litigation. I don't know who anyone, we'll obviously keep an eye out for something like that. Outside of suing Texas, I've read different things about, the wells were not producing. They had a problem there. The systems were frozen up. They couldn't get it out. They had problems with their electrical plants, which are mostly gas fired, and I have read stories. I don't know if this is true. I've seen it enough that the governor they had an embargo on gas leaving Texas because they needed it for the power plants to get them back up online. And so you had this, and that is where our gas is coming from, ultimately. Panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas is where that pipeline originates. So
It's sad that the United States is in that kind of shape for 5 days, and they do something like that to the whole United States, more or less.
So we need to have I saw, the article I sent to Kathy at least, I saw places going for 9. I saw one that went 14 months.
Wow.
No interest to people. So you would say, okay, your bill should be $3,000. So we're going to take this month's bill and you pay $300 or whatever, or if you do 10 months, you say you pay $300 now, and then you're going to have that $300 every month. Plus then, next month, whatever your normal bill is, you'll have that as well.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the story, I think, right? So,
Well, I personally feel like we should go with the 12-month recoup, and I also feel like somehow we need a letter to give to all the customers to explain and let them see what the bill was.
you got this spreadsheet?
Yes. They need to see this so that they understand that we're just not trying to charge them more, that it's actually because we were charged more.
We had no control
We had
over
no
that.
control for the
Yeah, we did,
cost.
they did, at the very, right when this started, they did send us notification. Kathy got word out on social media and stuff, trying to tell people. And I'm sure people did turn down their heat a little bit. Some people probably did. And maybe those people will be a little bit better because they did turn down their heat. But ultimately, you have to have, you can't turn it off most places. But your usage, you can see, I didn't know you had this, you can see your usage on those days, unfortunately, was as high as
Every year. I mean, that's our month, yeah. And we have 15 days
You're going to have to run
below
some numbers
freezing.
on TV to see what it's going to break down to for a 12-month period.
That's what Pat does for us. Or do you see any change?
For the customer stuff. No, I'm saying, you're going to have,
You're going to have to explain, yeah.
Or you
I
just,
can give him a copy of the GCA. That's what breaks it
what
down.
I'm trying to say is,
But
Is it gonna be too much for 12 months? Do we need to go a year and a half or 14 months or something like that? Because they gotta pay this extra.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah, I understand what he does. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
that's fine.
strain on some folks.
I was thinking something about it. It's a different way to get there.
This is the GCA factor that we'll use for starting May
It's fine in
first
the
billing.
summertime when not using
And
it.
to
We're looking
reconcile
at
that,
coming
we
in
use
next winter
Right,
with this.
yeah, exactly.
You know, the only good thing about the whole discussion is the gas was available, no matter what you paid for.
It was there. Yeah,
But on a market,
So
it's,
what Pat's gonna do is more sophisticated, much more sophisticated, frankly, than what I'm talking about doing. But it's still gonna have the same net, I mean, essentially, it will be a significant increase people are gonna have in their gas bills for the next year, at least. To balance out the additional costs from this month, that we're gonna incur. So, we're gonna go into a hole, and then the town will go into a hole, and then we'll have to try and get back to you. But the bad news is, if you don't do this, then we don't have any money to operate the gas. So, now, maybe there'll be something, maybe there'll be some sort of.
He did say because of Panhandle's increase, remember last,
That-
about
that-
this time, that there is litigation going on
There is
for
litigation
that.
on that.
And hopefully, we would be refunded enough to kind of help offset this,
cushion,
and they work back in for.
that'd be good. Wow, I just can't believe there's not some kind of recoup. I mean,
when
why
you get
won't
into
the
a contract with an
government-
act of God, there's
where's
nothing you
the-
can do.
Where's the government?
But,
I mean, they're always, yeah, right,
Texas is
yeah,
on their own.
that's what I understood, yeah.
Had we not had the extra gas, the extra cost available, we'd been just like Texas.
Yeah,
We'd had everything in the state code.
shut
Yeah,
down.
but we're part of a bigger system, so they're able to get it.
Yes.
So everybody's bill though would be based off of what their usage was, so everybody's amount will be different. There's not a flat
I don't think it'll be flat.
rate.
No, it's not gonna be a flat rate. It's what Pat does for us every quarter, the way it is, because when the prices fluctuate, our usage fluctuates, he does this reconciliation, and that's why we put that GCA factor in the billing system every quarter. That's how you recoup what you're charged and based, and then, like Scott was explaining, sometimes you lose less, so that's an undertake. When you use more, that's an overtake, but that's all worked in to what Pat does every quarter.
What do you think, a 12 months recoup is long enough? Or should we go with the,
Or do we need
Year
to
and a
wait and
half.
see his final crunches, Pat?
I'd be interested to see what that, yeah.
Which we gotta
Yeah.
get, which we
Yeah.
gotta
We need to
get
know what
paid
numbers we're talking about.
and paid back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what do you think? And Shauna, what do you think?
That's what I was asking. I don't want to put a burden on everybody. I mean, I pay just like all the rest of them.
Sure.
and everything, so it's, I don't want the utilities to be in the red and everything, but I want to know, is it going to be $40, is it going to be $100?
Well, yeah, we won't know till we get those numbers back from
But I know
Pat.
it's different for everybody. It's
Right.
going to be,
Yeah, it's gonna be a hardship on everybody.
So we-
Or not,
But we need to
Pat.
have it.
So we're gonna wait then. Do we know how soon he could have that for us? See, we have another meeting.
gas can make it
Yeah.
See, our next meeting's on like April 1st.
Yeah.
Our next meeting's April 1st. Would he have them for us by then? So we could discuss it then?
Kathy?
Do you think that he could have those numbers for us by our next meeting, April 1st?
I'm hoping so.
Okay.
He's like, he's
Yeah.
supposed to be in vacation in Florida all the month of March, the poor guy.
Yeah,
He's only got 2 weeks in, and,
okay.
yeah, I'm supposed to let him know Monday what we decide. So
Well-
I'll have to get some more information to him.
Could we have him do a couple scenarios? This one would be this much added? Or does he have that time?
I'll ask him.
I mean, if it's,
12 months.
if it's 12 months or 15 months
There you
or
go.
whatever, then we'll have numbers to make a decision with,
That's a good idea.
if he can do that. I mean, I think actually, once he gets that formula up, he's written up, he just plugs in some numbers and I'm sure.
When he does it every quarter, but he's gonna have to go ahead and work January, February, March into what doesn't normally go into our May factor.
All right.
To get this started in May.
Okay. So we'll put that on the
Wow.
April 1st agenda. That's,
Can the same thing happen next year?
yeah,
Have it.
who knows?
Nobody, we have no control over that.
4 days?
Nowhere, and there's no one you're going to get it from that can control it.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if something does that, it shuts down. It's,
With the hurricanes and stuff, has never been like
That's
this.
what I mean.
And it was interesting, I was looking at some of these there are other pipelines where, right, it didn't get as high because they get their supplies from other places. So they went up. I mean, some of the guys from RMC might know. Do you guys hear anything about this? I mean, I know you.
Mum's the word.
We don't deal in the gas industry, thankfully.
Yeah.
But on the electric side of things, they have price caps in Texas at $9,000 a megawatt hour. So put that in perspective, you normally pay $20, $30 a megawatt hour. It went to $9,000 for days. So on the electric side, that would get a perspective.
anything for the consumer,
Yeah.
basically.
But Texas is a different market because it's deregulated.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you're talking about an apple and an orange. You know, we're a regulated market up here, so there's different rules that apply.
I see.
That they can't do that to you.
I have a question. So I saw just the other night that we had litigation against 3 people for their utilities. So how often do you have litigation against people, and what's going to happen for those 12 months for those people that don't pay?
Well, those are people that are no longer have service with us.
Right.
They're no longer customers. So even if this went back to charge person by person, you can't go back and charge those people that amount of money.
That's not what I'm asking. Because like when we sell his dad's house, we've had the utilities on. So we're going to have to pay our full amount, right? We're not going to get billed for another 12 months just for the gas
These
that we
factors,
used,
no.
even though we've sold the house and it's
It'll be the
transferred
active
over?
customers for the next 12 months that will be playing this out. And
So wait.
I know that doesn't sound right, but that's how it works.
And it won't work either because we'll need to have the estate closed before then. So,
You won't be billing. You'll have your billing done.
As long as you have the gas on, you're
going
gonna get billed. When the gas is shut off, you won't.
oh, okay.
So then whoever buys that property will be responsible for that gas.
The gas bill. So
It's
if they ask what the gas bill runs every month,
Yeah.
It's the same way that he already does a quarterly GCA adjustment factor that goes into the bills every quarter. It's the same way where, like for May, when this goes in, whatever customers are no longer customers in February, March, then they're not billed as the current gas customers.
I just thought we were gonna have like a little, bill that we were gonna like kind of pay towards each month.
That's my fault, because I forgot about that, doing that.
Yeah.
And so that's, right.
Other places have done it that way.
Okay.
But Montezuma has a more sophisticated way, a more complicated way, for sure.
It kind of eases
It
back
does,
when
it
the
does.
gas prices back in what, 98, 99, when they were so high? Like they were $12.36 a decatherm then, to whether like anywhere between $2 and $3.58 now. But that's what this is used for, actually.
And as Pat Callahan is talking about, he's worked with our rates for years
Long
and years
time.
and years, and a lot of other towns and cities too. That's
And the same thing's done for the electric utility too.
water, sewer,
Yeah.
No, not water.
Water's
No
not
water.
out. Yeah.
Okay. So we will table that to the next meeting on April 1st.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
but that ain't that many.
Yeah.
Okay. Scott, you want to start off round table?
I don't remember what I had. I think they came and got the fire truck.
Yes, we did.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
If I wanted a copy of this presentation, is that okay to give to him?
Sure.
Yeah. There's nothing in it. You guys are okay with it? There's nothing.
Okay.
It's all public knowledge.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give it to him for.
Yeah, sure.
It's okay. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Took a little bit of angry, but we got them to come, they came and got the fire truck.
Yes, they came and got
I don't
it.
think we got our check yet, though.
No, I shipped the paperwork off through FedEx, so hopefully we'll get our check soon.
It was a bittersweet day, really, to see it go.
Did they come Monday, or?
They came Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh,
No, they came Tuesday because
Well, I got about 10
the
different
brokers were
answers, depending on who I
Yeah,
talked
you
to.
guys are all over that.
Yeah, that's why we knew it was,
Yeah.
it was
They told me Friday when
Tuesday.
I called.
All the cars I knew, that's what you guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kathy?
I think that's all the bad news we have for you this evening.
There was enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nick?
We've still got a problem with telephones, employees and telephones. I think they need to be kept in their vehicles, and they need to get back on the radios.
Okay. You can take Jimmy. Personal phones and stay in vehicles.
No,
Okay. If you have any trouble, let us know.
it's mandatory, I think.
Yeah.
Mandatory, use that exact word.
Okay.
So you're gonna make that mandatory. If it's not abided by, then it's gonna be,
Disciplinary act sometimes we'll have to come up with.
As boss, he can carry his.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I should have stipulated that. As boss, he can carry his. But I'm tired of walking in up there or seeing them and they're like this.
So would that be a letter in their file?
I think they just need to be, well,
Yeah.
you gotta draw something up.
That's up to Jimmy, I mean, he, if it's,
verbally stated or should?
yeah, I'd say the first time he, hey, told you don't do that. If they keep doing it, at some point it becomes a warning, and then it becomes a, you just ratchet it up.
Same procedure, just a verbal and a documented.
Written, and suspended. And,
Yep.
I mean, if it's, guy did it once and then 9 months, 10 months later he does it again, I don't,
Yeah.
That'd be up to the superintendent's judgment.
And I always just have a rule with Candy and Tasha, they both know if they have an important phone call coming in or doctor calling, they just tell me and I allow them to have their phone on their desk. That doesn't happen very often,
Things do happen like that.
Sure.
But I know what Dick's talking about. Is we have
If
to
something happens at home, that's why you call the office and the girls get.
relay it out.
I'm going to institute this policy at my house with my kids today.
Yeah.
So. I want you to come tell them, though.
Ain't got a problem with that.
I bet they listen, Scott.
Yeah, they would for a while.
Yeah.
We'd have to get into disciplinary action.
Okay.
That I don't have anything.
Okay. Now,
You have something?
yeah, we're gonna have an emergency administrative meeting right after, and
Okay,
discuss something.
okay,
So,
Not really emergency, just administrative.
administrative,
I said
okay.
emergency.
okay.
Okay, spur of the moment, there
Spur
we
of
go.
the moment,
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
I have two things. I did get the townwide cleanup flyers made, and I've been trying to distribute them. If anybody wants one, they're right here. There will be 2 dumpsters at the utility building. In the spring, we always get 2. And there will be no tires, household furniture, or electronics accepted. But there is a list of other items that are. So if anybody wants one of these, you're more than welcome to have one. The other thing is, I gave you the only flyer, Scott, the only thing that has ever been in print as an order form used to buy a park bench. It's on the very bottom, and that was used in the Montezuma alumni newsletter. So if you could take a look at that and see what you feel, if the wording is appropriate for us to take action, or if we have to let it drop. So if you'll take a look at that, we'd appreciate it. But that's the only thing that's ever been in print. Everything else has just been by word of mouth. And that's how we operated. And that's the only 2 things I have.
Bob?
Yes, I feel that we need to be discussing the part-time labor for the mowing, painting, basically that kind of stuff, and not out doing water lines. And if you drive around town here, we have a lot of paint. It needs to get done, and that person needs to be doing it, not all doing utility work, unless it's an emergency situation.
So you're saying mowing and
Painting,
painting?
I could name you 100 things that needs, that person can stay busy every day.
Yep.
He don't need to be putting underground wire in or water, unless it's like I said, emergency situation, that's a different thing, but there's plenty of part-time persons could be everywhere.
I totally agree. I agreed when we did it last time, but we had a heck of a time trying to find somebody that would be responsible.
Yeah.
But I am definitely for
Can we
that.
run an ad to see? And
So where are you suggesting I get that?
put an ad in, and maybe by our meeting, I wouldn't run it too long. $12 part-time seasonal, $12 an hour, and
Same as last year.
proof of driver's license and a drug screen.
I think we advertised it as if it was part-time seasonal, didn't we?
Seasonal, yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you want me to do that now, this is March.
Or that way we can make it this April. 'Cause
Yeah. As
you'll
hard-
be, if the weather changes out, you'll be mowing the middle of April.
Yeah, it's already greening up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if it's warm, they can be painting. There's curbs and there's plenty,
There's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, they can wash the
anything.
curbs downtown.
Yeah. Then, what kind of,
Is that
how
motion?
long do you want that to run, and when do you want the things back? You gotta-
Today's the 18th.
We hit
Maybe back by our meeting the 1st. Is that too much?
April 1st, is
Run
that?
the rock,
Enough to
run
get
them
it
2
before
times
I get it.
and
What's your deadline? For Saturday or for Wednesday, I'm past the deadline.
I could make it happen if we did it quick.
I plan on not being at work tomorrow, but
Have it closed
Oh, here we go on vacation.
Yeah.
a few days before our monthly, and we can talk about it before the actual.
The 15th, April 15th?
Yeah.
That gives her time to get it in,
Give some
and it gives
time.
us a few days before it to discuss it and before the actual.
so I could.
regular meeting to hire in by, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to have it all that done. And our meeting, if we had any applications, we can look them over on the projects.
Yeah.
And we can make the hire.
Yep.
In 15.
Is Rockville's Friday now?
I just didn't know if we could get it
I
back.
just deadline.
I don't know.
Used to be
I gotta put it on my
Tuesday.
calendar.
Used to
I'll
be
figure it out.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
It's Friday?
It's gonna be an awful quick turnaround to get them back in, and
Yeah.
April 1st, our meeting.
I don't think that's
Why-
possible.
How about we do the 15th,
We do
April
it by the,
15th?
and we can do it at our regular
So
meeting.
like, how
Yeah.
back to your
Yeah, the week prior, and we could go over applications one night. There's some things we really need to step in, because everything's starting to go the other way.
You have to set a special session in between.
Yeah, between the 1st and the 15th, that'd be good. That's all I got.
Do we need to set that special session right now or no?
As long as she's got 72.
I didn't know
Or
how
whatever.
much time she had to put it out. Yeah.
I have to notify the papers again.
We have to have 48 hours.
48 hours, okay.
Just
We have time
notification.
then.
Right. We don't have to be able to publish it in that time period, we just have to have it.
That's up.
Okay, we have time.
Yeah. Hey, do we need to have any minutes?
No, administrative meetings aren't really meetings, you're kind of performing your functions as executives, you know,
All of them have an active.
scheduling and
Yeah,
yada
right.
yada, so it's not.
You're up, Dave.
Okay.
So we can take 10 minutes or something.
Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.